Hi everyone. Somebody recently asked me what lures I would recommend for a beginning angler. And there are a handful of lures that I'm going to talk about that will not only catch fish, they won't break the bank. And so I'm just going to jump right in and let you know. Now, before I start talking about specific lures, I'm going to tell you that this group that I'm going to show you in this collection of lures will allow you to fish the top of the water, the surface, the middle column of the water, and also the bottom. That's going to give you all the different options you need to figure out where the fish are on that particular day and work that part of the water. So the very first thing that I'm going to talk about is a spinnerbait. There's a white one and a black one. These particular baits have single blades. You can get them with multiple blades. I recommend that you go with a 1/4 ounce or less. And what you do is you just simply throw this lure out into the water, give it a second to get to a foot or 2 feet below the surface, and just start winding it in. You can change your retrieve speed. You can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can stop it and just twitch it and then start it again. Those are great little bait fish imitators, and they do catch fish. So that's the first thing you want to go with, is a spinnerbait, 1/4 ounce or less, black or white, or get one of each, and throw it out and wind it in. The next bait is also a spinnerbait, but this one is called an inline spinner. And it's just a little lead body on a shaft. It's got an exposed treble hook and a single blade on it, and you just throw them out and you wind them in. With that exposed hook, you do not want to throw this around trees. You don't want to throw it in too heavy a cover because it will get hung up. This is more of an open water lure. If you find yourself on a creek or a river and there's a rapid, this is great to throw on the downside of the rapid, right where the ripple starts to calm down. Fish stay in that water almost year-round, and it's a great place to throw this little bait. It'll look like a little bait fish trying to get out of the rapids, and they'll hammer it. So those are the first three: the spinnerbaits and the 2 spinnerbaits and the inline spinner. Next, I'm going to show you this frog bait. This is a topwater bait. It floats. This particular bait, I'm not advertising for anybody, but this particular bait I got at Walmart for less than $2. It's soft plastic, and it's designed so that when the fish bites down, the body will collapse and those 2 hooks are exposed to catch the fish. It's got little tassels to look like legs. And throw it out. After it hits the water, let all the ripples calm down, and then just start twitching it. Make it look like a little frog. Don't overwork it. Twitch it, pause it. Twitch it, pause it. Fish eat frogs. That's a good one to have. The next bait I'm going to tell you about is a grub. It's just a little soft plastic body, and it's got a curly tail on it. And you throw it out, and when you're winding it back in, that little tail flutters. You're going to rig it on a lead head jig, just like this one is rigged. Now, the pointer I will give you on this one is when you rig it, make sure the tail is down. That's important, because if you rig it with the tail up, as you retrieve it and pull it through the water, that tail is going to force the bait to roll over, and it won't look natural. So rig it with the hook up, tail down, just like I show you right there. Go with as light of a weight as you can get away with. If you're throwing a big 1/2 ounce head, it's just going to go straight to the bottom, and you're going to be hitting the bottom. You can bounce this off the bottom, but again, with that exposed hook, you want to swim it through the open water, swim it around current. You can swim it over rocks and over trees that are down in the water. Just be sure and pop it up over and don't let it come into contact. So we've got spinner baits, frog baits for the top of the water, the curly tail grub. So far, so good. The next baits I'm going to talk about are soft plastic baits, and these baits are designed to work on the bottom. And the first one is a lizard. This is a salamander imitation. Salamanders eat fish eggs. This is a natural enemy of the bass. he wants to kill this guy. Throw it out there, working on the bottom real slow. Just move it along. Don't twitch it. Don't overwork it. Just real slow movements, and hold on, because he will come and get you. Any soft plastic bait that you can buy that imitates a crawfish is going to catch bass. This particular one is one of my favorites, and it's the color I like, which is a watermelon green. Again, it's fished on the bottom with a weight, as is this one. This is a creature bait. I'm not sure what this is supposed to imitate, but it's got little swimmy tails on it, it's got flappers on it, it's got arms on it, and you hook this up with a weight and you fish it on the bottom nice and slow, and they will come and get that. Lastly, I'm going to talk about soft plastic worms. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes. This particular one is called a stick worm. It does not have a curly tail, it's just a straight piece of plastic. And there are several different ways to rig this. But worms are a natural food source for bass. So get some worms, go online and look at different ways to rig those up, and they will catch fish for you. So those are the lures: spinners, inline spinners and hairpin, topwater frog baits, curly tail grubs, soft plastics that you work on the bottom, crawfish imitators, lizards, worms. Those are things that will catch fish for you every day. Now, for the soft plastics, I recommend any color that's green. Watermelon green, green pumpkin, baby bass color, which is a green with a white bottom. The only thing that I do change a little bit is on the lizard, salamander imitators, I like black. That seems to work well for me. So you can go with black, but on the rest of them, go with green. Start out. You can change and go to other colors later as you get more confidence and figure things out, but start out with the green. Those are the lures. Now, line. Go with an 8 or a 10 pound monofilament line. You don't need to go any heavier than that. These little fish you're going to catch aren't going to stress that, and you'll be able to catch them without breaking line. This particular spool is a less expensive economy line. This is 500 yards, and I paid less than $3 for this spool. Some of the spools are $9 and $10 for 150 yards. Is that line better than this line? Maybe. Is it that much better? I don't think so. And I'm basing that on my experience, because I fish this every day that I'm out. I don't buy expensive lines. And I don't lose fish because my line is breaking. So that's just your call. You can spend a lot of money, or you can do the smart thing and get the less expensive and just take care of your line. So do not go with a braid. That's the one thing I will say, is braided lines don't have any stretch. And if you put too much pressure on a hook set, or if you put too much pressure on a fish when you're fighting them with a line that has no stretch in it, you can damage your rod, and you don't want to do that. And speaking of rods, that's the last thing I'm going to talk about, is go with a spinning rod combo. This particular reel, and I'm not advertising for anybody, but this particular reel is available in retail stores for about 10 bucks. This rod is 18 bucks. So when you round it up with tax, this is roughly a $30 combo. I've been fishing this little $10 reel for the last 2 years. This will be my 3rd season on it. It works fine. I lube it up with a little WD-40. I take care of it. I clean it. I don't let dirt build up in it. And it's great. You don't have to break the bank to go out. The purpose of fishing is to go have fun. Don't worry about getting the best of everything. You can upgrade as you go along. But this particular combo that I just showed you, this little $30 combo, is what I fish every day. And this is the type of combo that I've been using for the last 26 years. If you want to go out and buy a $150 combo, go ahead. I'm using my little $30 combo, and I catch fish. You can buy everything, this rod and reel, one each package of all these soft plastics. You can buy a couple of rooster tails, you can buy a couple of spinner baits, the frog bait, everything that I've shown you today for about $60. And that will get you out and get you in a position where you can learn about the fish, because that's really how you're going to be a better fisherman. Not buying expensive equipment, learning how the fish behave, where they are at any particular time of year. Those are the things, that knowledge is going to help you be a better fisherman. You don't need to put a million different lures in your box, just buy a few and start learning about how the fish behave, and then you can build from that. I hope this helps you. Have fun, go out and catch some fish.